So let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is Clix on the Barbie. Join us as we talk about Clix in Australia, current heroclix happenings, and a dash of meta. Let's throw to Clix on the Barbie and get on with our first show. Welcome to Clix on the Barbie. My name's Ben Jones, and my co-hosts tonight are Raphael Souza and Bobby Kriesman. We're looking forward to talking about the Australian heroclix scene and the whole range of other Clix-related discussions. As we start the podcast, we thought it'd be best to get to know a little bit about ourselves. So I'm going to introduce each other. So first of all, we've got Raphael Souza. So Raph, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? How did you get into Clix and how long have you been playing for?
Okay. So, you know what? I was checking my messages with Brandon, and I started playing at Galaxy here in Sydney, right? Galaxy Books. And Brandon introduced me to the game. I was checking back, and I noticed that I started playing not so long ago. So it was like November 2018 when I first started. And
So
yeah.
what set was out then when you were?
I think it was like the latest set was EarthX, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we were still playing like sealed EarthX because as you might know, things a little bit delayed here in Australia, so probably I think that was the current set by the moment. And I remember
You may have been like
uh,
X-Men Xavier's School even. So because that was the main Marvel set before Earth X, right? Was XXS.
when was EarthX released? Let me see.
That
EarthX. Oh
was
no, it's
February of 2019. It wouldn't have been Earth X.
oh
You
so
would have been like
probably
Avengers Infinity, maybe.
was Battle Words, I think. Battle Words,
Ah,
right?
okay. Yep.
Yeah, Battle Words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This one is the set with
Yeah.
let me see. The
That was
Destroyer Tor.
October of
Yes,
2019.
Destroyer Tor. I remember
Yeah.
because I just remember. Do you remember? Okay, quick fact. I was there playing, and there was like a battle royale, and there was a guy there named Bobby. You know, like in this battle royale, and he was the actual national champion by that moment. And I was like, wow, the national champion, I'll play against him, you know, like, and we decided to play like a battle royale. And I remember, I think like there was, and I like his pools were like, I think he got like Destroyer Tor or something like this. And I was like, oh my god, he's gonna crush me. Like I'm lost here, right? I don't know
And
what
you
happened.
completely had yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened on that day. I think he was like, okay, I'm not gonna destroy this newbie
I'm trying
because
to remember what I had. I don't even remember what I pulled, man.
yeah, he will never come back if I destroy him. So let he do some stuff. Okay, so it ended up that he was like basically the last one on that battle royale, you know. And I remember like in the end of the game we were about to pick like what we wanted, and I had the chance to pick that destroyer Thor, but I said like this guy is the national champion. He will use the Destroyer much more than me. I did not even know if I was going to kind of like keep playing the game, you know. And said, you can keep that one. He said, oh yeah, can I keep it? So you probably still have it, right, Bobby?
Ooh, yeah, so that's a good point. So that was 2018. So
Yeah, November, yeah.
2018, yeah, so 2018 Nationals was when you sort of first started playing then, I
Yes, I
guess.
think I missed the nationals that year, and then just played the next one in 2019.
Yep. Yes, okay, yep, that would make sense.
Yeah.
So, Raf, what's your preferred
Yeah,
play
I think it was
style?
right after the national.
Right after nationals, yeah. I think nationals was, let's say, September or something like this, and I started playing on November. So, what was the question? Sorry, Ben.
Sorry. So the question is, what's your preferred play style for
Play
when you're playing?
style.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And quickly I started enjoying like playing 300 modern. Uh, And in terms of play style, what I like is like just like straightforward pieces that I don't like to play with many pieces, so if there's only like 3 or 4 pieces, it's easier to control. And I like Alpha Strike and just go and move and hit. That's it. Move and hit. That's my play style. Move and hit.
Beautiful. That's a good play style to get in there and have a big crack. Do you have a favorite set, and why do you like that set if you do?
Favorite set so far is XGPS. The Dark. What is the name? It's the Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix. X-Men Dark Phoenix. Is it?
Yep, at the animated series.
Yeah, animated
So,
series. Yeah, I think because of the
Animated series.
the Colossus. I think it was the first set that
Right.
I was playing that came with Colossus, because like the previous ones were still modern. I think I could still play like Mangog and Groot and this kind of thing, but the first one that I actually pulled it from boosters was XGPS with Colossus. So that's the reason I think that's the one that I like. I like more so far. That's my preferred one.
Beautiful. And last one I've got for you. Do you have a favorite piece that you enjoy playing?
I enjoyed Black Widow, from the movie set until they kind of like nerfed her a little bit. I really, really, really like the piece. I still like playing her. But I think with the nerf that they did, like that 2 tokens that you have to pay, it's just costing a little bit too much for her, I think. So if I had to, like choose between choose like 3, I would say like Marvel, Widow, and Dark Phoenix. Those are like my 3.
Your top 3?
Yeah,
That's
top
not
3, I would say. Yeah.
That's not too bad a top 3. Very, very nice, very competitive top 3. I guess for myself, I started playing heroclix 15 years ago. Started playing on my son's first birthday.
Do you remember how was that? Like, how do you discover the game? Like, why?
So I collected Wolverine figurines, and I had a universe starter which had a Wolverine in it. It was one of the first times you could see into a packet and see what they had. So I just sort of had that sitting on my shelf at home, and because I purchased it one day, and I just had it sitting on my shelf at home. My friend sort of said, "Hey, why don't we open that up and let's have a play?" And I'm like, "I don't know, it's still sealed. I should leave it there." But we did open it up and we played, and I thought, "Hey, this isn't too bad." And so, but then I just wanted more heroclix, and so I needed to buy more and try out different combinations. So that was sort of how I got into it. And I guess I enjoy a good 300-point game. I think I've actually come to appreciate it more of late, especially because I've on some 500s and 600s, and just with the lower points now, you can do so much, and it can take so long sometimes. So I'm enjoying the 300-point, but generally I play at home games. I guess, across the kitchen table. So we have a chance to test out different point combinations and things like that. But certainly 300 bottoms is something that I really enjoy and something I want to try to keep doing frequently.
How many times a week do you play?
Sometimes I have a feast or a famine. So sometimes I might only play once a week. And then, so I usually have a regular game on a Thursday night with a friend, and then I have another friend who comes over every couple of weeks, and we play on a Friday night. And then if there's a tournament on, so the one probably I need to do is play online more, because I can and have the opportunity. But yeah, just sometimes. Certainly, that's why I have enjoyed our league that we've had that we're going. So I've been able to play online and keep connected. So that's been really good. Yep. So yeah, and I guess if I was to say my play style would probably be try to get in close. I like getting up in someone's face and putting the pressure on straight away. So
Yeah, we played some WWE teams, right? Yeah.
I really did enjoy playing the WWE figures because you had that chance to sort of get in there and start bashing around. I think if I was to, my favorite set of all time is the Nick Fury Agents of Shield set, because I really enjoyed the Hydra people in that one. I just like the way they work together, and then if you add in some of the modern ones, it's actually a really, really fun team to play, especially on those larger builds. Set I'm enjoying at the moment is actually the Justice League set. I just continue to enjoy just playing, and I do a lot of playing in set, so we just sort of build teams out of like that one set, and I found that to be a really enjoyable set to play.
And that set's so good, like even in terms of meta, it's
Yeah.
like it's very
really
very
is.
solid set. So yeah.
Well, honestly, like I find that playing in set like you're talking about is really it feels like it's the most balanced form of heroclix. It feels like there's a lot fewer of those kind of like, oh gotcha moments.
Yeah,
Just because it feels like they actually pay more attention to the way players play against each other in that set. It's kind of like every other collectible game in the world. Like, you know, the bigger the pool, the harder to, like, the players find the broken crap a lot faster than the play testers seem.
Yeah, that's and don't get wrong, like I had you can find some pretty broken combinations in that, but I found it just a really fun set to play. Different combinations of the Justice League or Injustice League, or I've been trying the Justice Lords out and seeing how they go.
It's not fun if you play with Daniel. Just tell you.
Listen to you, Mr. Double Flash Spot.
No,
Oh wow!
all right.
Cool. And I think.
What about your favorite pieces? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think at the moment, my favorite piece is Darkseid. I'm just really enjoying trying to play him. I know he's big and beefy and takes up a lot in a 300-point team, but he's also just good fun, and it's really interesting how his Omega Beam can control a board, like so force things in a certain direction. So I found him to be really cool fun to play. So that's probably.
I didn't have much fun playing against you, but
Well,
it's really hard to kill him, right? So like basically what I did was like trying to kill the rest and just leave him and run.
Yeah, and that's ongoing. That's cool. You can do that. That's 100 point. There's less than 100 points there, more than likely. So I just got to kill 100 points of your team, and so and Darkseid has the opportunity. If he hits, he can do that quite easily. Okay, so Bobby, let's find a little bit out about you. How did you get into heroclix, and how long have you been playing for?
Yeah, so like my first heroclix set was the same as you, the Infinity Challenge starter back in the day, right? So
cool.
and I picked up a little bit of Infinity Challenge and whatever the second set was. Got them just to essentially play as a board game. So, and I mean, I got into that one because it was the same dudes that made Mage Knight back in the day. So, and I got into Mage Knight. It was my first foray into kind
of. Do you still have the pieces? Do you still have
Mage Knight?
The figures? No.
I do still have some of the Infinity Challenge. So I've got Infinity Challenge and some of the Hyper Time guys as well. So like there's, or it may be Explosion. There's a 23-point Destiny, 23-point prob piece. And there's a...
Still have one of those too, I think.
Yeah. And then there's the 15-point Con Artist, which, you know, back in the day when you could push, was a 15-point perplex, because you just push her onto perplex. So should you ever play what's now Golden Age, I guess, like where all figures are allowed, those are still viable. So
I think
go for it.
Sorry, I think I have a box of them aside still,
Yeah.
which I were just in that box of this is the utility box, and I think I still have that
Yep.
set aside.
You're still worth like 23-point prob, and she has super senses. So what more do you want? And they had Scarlet Witch was in those first 3 sets as well. I want to say, yeah. And there was like a 28-point version of Scarlet Witch that was an 8-range prob that had like a 10 attack for 2 damage. So she could even like occasionally shoot things, right?
Yep.
But I mean, that was just very casual, right? So when we moved to Kentucky back in one of probably would have been 2000. Yeah, it would have been 2009. So I was looking for a game to get into to play on the regular, and we tried out a couple of things. Eventually stumbled into the player base that plays at the Rusty Scabbard in Lexington, Kentucky, and several of those guys love going to nationals, and they try to go every year.
So why you didn't pick up Magic the Gathering?
I believe it or not, like, so because Magic is just. So here's the reason I did not pick Magic the Gathering is because back in the day I played Magic Online. Right?
Okay.
And like I had played Magic Online for probably like 5 or 6 years, and I realized that I had the exact same card in my collection 3 times with 3 different names.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, I see what they're doing here. And basically it's just kind of the way Magic functions is like stuff rotates out of standard, right? But they want to keep the same functionality. So they reprint the exact same card, the exact same cost with a different name. And I'm just like, okay, see, this just makes me feel used. So, because I feel like I'm having to buy the exact same card multiple times. Well, and I mean, and really part of what I liked about heroclix was you can have a lot of fun out of, I mean, back in the day in the States, boosters were like $10 a box. You could pay $10, you could get a couple of boosters, and you could have fun with it. You'd have enough out of the 10 dudes you pulled to play a little bit, and that could hold you over for a couple of weeks. So I felt where I was like Magic to be, and mind you, I mean, meta heroclix can be an expensive hobby, as we all know and probably appreciate, right? But I still feel for a competitive game, most like if you spend $200 on a heroclix team, you're probably good for a couple of years.
Yeah, right.
Whereas like Magic, there's just no way to do that. If you're going to Friday night, or if you're going to weekly draft night playing Magic, you're spending $30 a week.
Yeah.
Okay. And then like pain lands, fetch lands, tap lands, they're like $100 a card. So like a competitive Magic deck can quickly get into the $400 range.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, honestly, legitimately, that's what's always kept me out of Warhammer. Like Warhammer looks interesting until I run into the $2,000 price tag, and then I'm just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. Warhammer, when I opened the box, I said, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because you have to assemble that stuff, right?
Exactly. You have to assemble it. Well, and then like if you don't paint it, everybody makes fun of you. It's like, dude, give me a break. Yeah.
I think that's why I like heroclix. That's why I like heroclix. It comes painted.
Yep.
It's all ready to go. I can open from the box. Yep. Most times it's not broken, and I can get started playing, which is really good fun.
Absolutely. So my favorite play style is probably whatever has a lot of prob, because I find the dice just hate me. Like it's unless I have at least 3 sources of probability control on my team, there will be a moment in the game where I just hate life. So I try to play as much reroll as I can.
And I'm not sure if this is accurate, but I think that your play style is moving to something like let me barrier in my starting area, right?
It's kind of getting that way. That's because I mean, right now I find the meta. Well, the thing is, right now the meta is highly alpha.
Hmm.
Like I've been like between my games with Raph, Daniel, and with some of the other players, dude. It's like if you're not, it is a weird game if you're fighting each other in the middle of the map. Like most games are resolved within like 4 squares of someone starting it. And I think, and part of that is the pieces they've designed, obviously, but part of that's also the rules changes, specifically with being able to carry flyers,
Yeah.
with flying no longer reducing movement. It's not that hard to find a 12 range taxi, so that's, and like with some sidestep on top of it or a TK, you're, so yeah, like I'm finding most games these days, like, so that's right, the build I've been playing with most recently was the one a variation of what I played with Raph yesterday is, just as many pieces with stop clicks as I can possibly find. Because you're not like, there's no way to stop the damage. The pain is coming. So you just try to build something that can survive that first alpha strike and then do something do something the next turn. Yeah, it's a thing. Oh, and I mean, like one of my favorite pieces. So like the piece I'm currently building around or trying to work into stuff is Dark Phoenix, just because of the value. Like,
Hmm.
and Raph was a jerk and managed to super sense out of both of my retails last time we played. Just for the record, that shouldn't have happened, but but it was, but like when her retail does hit, like the value that you can get out of a single retail with
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix is
I reckon,
ridiculous.
yeah, Dark
Yeah.
Phoenix is great. So maybe circle back to her a bit later on.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. But like one of my favorite pieces, and I'll do a twofer. I'll throw another one in there. Is Immortal Hulk, just because like the comic books and like the whole tying Hulk in with Lovecraftian horror and it's just exceptionally well written, and it's a really cool representation of the character, and it's don't die. Because like I
it,
said, I kind of feel like the meta these days is like the pain is coming. You have to figure out a way to survive the pain. If
so
you can't, then juke toast.
that's if you go second, I guess. You got to
True.
survive the pain.
True.
Yeah, so if you go first, you can get to bring the pain, hopefully.
Yeah, but anymore, especially with the +3 to first player being limited to +3, like you can't, because I mean there were legitimate teams where you could, like, I mean right now you could throw together a Fantastic Four +11 team fairly easily, but you're only
Yep.
going to get +3, and then your dudes are going to be so squishy that
Yeah, that's one of
yeah.
the things that I wanna like when I play against someone again, I will ask to go second. Like because I'm just playing first and it's working, but I'm not sure I'm able to survive if I play second, and I don't know if it's like a good strategy or like a good team to have it. That as a team that cannot survive second and going second. So that's an interesting thing to try
It's
next time.
valid. It's very
Yeah.
valid.
Okay, so guess thinking about heroclix news. So this week there was some more information that came out about the event in the States, the heroclix for Huntington's. Was either of you planning on having a go at that event?
So I'm on the fence. I love the idea of supporting charity, but it's just such a bad time. It's like 1 a.m. start for us here in Australia, and seriously, it's gonna be a half hour of futzing around before pairings are up, and then the pairings are gonna get screwed, and they're gonna have to repost. So it'll be like 2 a.m. before it starts, right? And that's for us. So what it's gonna be like 3 a.m. when it starts for you, right, Ben?
Oh yeah,
So
that'd be half past. No, we're half hour.
okay, you're only half
And
hour right now.
we're
Okay.
yeah, so yeah, it would be it'd be like half past 1. I think we're a bit
Yeah.
close.
Well,
But
that's without any delays. So, but
yeah,
I love the idea. Well, and I was looking through. I also went through and looked through price support. And theoretically, like I mean, the guys on Critical Clicks are saying that they've seen the Scott Porter Pog that will be a big part of the everybody gets one for
I think
just
the top
participation.
32 get one.
No. Yeah, top 32. That's true. Top 32. But if you play, it feels like because he said they had a. So I was listening to Critical Clicks, and they said they had a print run of 500 of.
Okay.
So it feels like everybody. It feels like if you do any of the events, you'll have a pretty good shot. And supposedly the POG is pretty. But honestly, like outside of that, looking at the pricing, I felt like you'd have to get top 8 for it to be good for the prizes to be a major draw. So,
And it'd
I mean
be
the odds of me getting in top 8 in Silver Age are non-existent.
Hmm.
The odds of me getting in top 8 Modern Age are probably also non-existent. Let's be honest here. So
yeah. Oh well, I guess certainly the modern's going to be the most wild west dish at this stage because
Yeah.
the rules clarification. I'm sure they'll come out. I did like that they had the stipulation about it being a family for the silver. So
I did like
there
that
had to
too.
be some family connection between two characters or something like that. So that gives a little bit more theminess to it. But the prizes, there were some good prizes for the top, one and two. So to make your own legacy card and or choose your
That's true.
character for a
Those were
legacy,
kind of cool.
and that's pretty good.
I
So
like,
people are going to go for it.
yeah, I liked that they were willing to. Like, I love every time that they do like the prize being to make a figure or something, and I love the idea of the legacy card pulling something into modern because there are some really amazing pieces out there that 5 or 6 or 8 sets ago that
Well,
would be
depends
really.
who wins.
That's
Don't want to see those guys again. Like,
no, it's fair. It's fair. There's some broken stuff out there that you're like, yeah, that should never come back. Like the
Okay.
Book of the Skull. Can you imagine if they tried to pull that into modern?
which
Like
one?
all the fruit, the Book of the Skull, the
Oh
relic
yeah.
from Feared Skulls, with all the hammers and all the free quakes and all the insanity.
Mhm,
Be good fun. I remember those times.
mhm.
So yeah, okay. So time wise, it does make it difficult. And have you guys ever played in anything else online, like that's
Yeah,
come
so I
from the
mean, like,
States?
well, three of us players from Queensland. So Daniel, Wesson, and I, and shout out to the Queensland players. All did nationals last. So, and it was, let me see, we did nationals and then,
The U.S. nationals, right?
yeah, the U.S.
Yeah.
Well, it was the Rock.
Rock
National.
U.S.
It
Yeah.
was the
Right.
Rock U.S.
Yeah.
It was Rock Nationals. It was off brand. It was not. So, and I mean, Kenny Pena came on into the event. And was like, hey, thanks for keeping. They did have some official support from.
Yep. Okay,
So
so
we did that one, and it was. I mean, I don't know if it's a fair comparison because it was the first time. That was the first really big event they had tried online, and I'm dead serious when I say it was like. So it's supposed to start at 1 a.m. and it was every bit of 3 a.m., if not 4 a.m. time they actually got started.
so they probably have fixed a little bit of that up by
I would
now.
hope
Like,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, so Daniel played in the one that followed that one, which was was it Rock Worlds Raft? Do you
Yeah.
remember?
Rock Words. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played in that one and he said it was much smoother
Yeah.
the second time around. That like it started by 1:30 a.m. or something, which was bad, right?
No, I've played in some of the smaller cast
Yeah.
type events.
Yeah.
The Prince tournament I was in from the Dial H,
Yeah.
the Make It Meta from the Clixing It, and I actually like that because it was sort of more that pod, so I could work out my match from somewhere in a week and try to find the right time that would suit for both of us.
I
So
like the pod format. I really do. And like, the league that you've mentioned that we do online down on, it's nice to have like, and we kind of, it evolved to the point where we essentially have a 2-week window to get your match in, right? And
Mhm.
you do 2 weeks preparing to
Yeah.
kind of, which I find like with life being life, having like 1 week you can make work, but occasionally it's kind of tough. 2 weeks, it's fine. Like there's always a time somewhere in the 2 weeks.
Yeah. And I think we've sort of got that right for ourselves at the moment. And yeah, that's been really good. And that's probably a good point. So we keep talking about this league that we've got. So, Raf, do you want to explain what we've been doing?
We set a league here. Well, the name is Unmeta League, right? But just taking advantage of the situation, now we should change the name to heroclix Online, heroclix Online Players of Australia, something like this, right?
Yeah, you are correct.
And we started like I think we were probably 5 months ago or something like this.
Yeah, 5 or 6 months ago. It feels like we started kind of. I don't think it's been a year. It feels like it's been maybe 8 months because we were still in COVID lockdown.
Yes,
or
right.
we were we weren't able to play in stores in Queens. Whenever we started it, we kind of started it because of that.
Yes, and we
Was
decided
it like August last year? Because I know that we had the Spider-Man, the Absolute Carnage as prizing for that.
Yep.
And I think like some of us were already playing online. I think like me, Bobby, Daniel, Terry, and then I think we decided to like call the other players and say, why don't we make like a league? And we are playing different formats, and we give 1 or 2 weeks to have the games. So each phase of the league has we decide which format we are playing. So this one will be, for example, 300 modern, and then out of the pool of players that we have the freedom of like choosing playing or not playing, because sometimes you are busy, and so it's just basically for fun and to keep things going, right? And then we make the matches, and we have 1 to 2 weeks to play and report the results and go to the next phase. That's basically it. So just keep things going and playing heroclix, if not in person, online.
Yeah, and so it's keeping that connection between, I guess, heroclix players in Australia, which I've really enjoyed. First of all, I wasn't playing online, but then I know I started because I asked you, Raf, for to give us a couple games to help me learn how to play, which I really enjoyed. So then getting into that, but it's been really good for myself to continue to meet new players, especially Bobby's Queensland crew, because I hadn't sort of met them before, and so I found it to be really good. I think we're up to season 5, is it?
Yeah, this will be season 5.
It's just a shame that we don't get more players to actually play. Like there are, like more people that could potentially join us. Our group now, we are probably like consistently having like 8 players. Right. And like the Brazilian crew just started like Wonder Woman sealed event with 14 people,
Nice.
That's awesome.
And like
I feel like that's one of the areas we really struggle in, is finding new players in Australia, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if we just, none of us have friends or what. It's like
that's why we're playing heroclix, isn't it? Because we have no friends. I think. And so I guess we come to that point that the heroclix community in Australia is a relatively small community. I know I was looking on Facebook and I saw so there's people play. There's people playing in Sydney, so where you are, Raf, there's you playing, and there's a couple of venues there, Galaxy Books, and I can't remember the other one.
The other games. One is Penrith. I think Chris is leading that one. It's Mega Games in Penrith.
Games, cool. And so we've got a couple of venues up there. Bobby, give a shout out to what you guys are doing in Queensland.
Yeah, so the Dice Spot, which is a really cool game store up on the north side of town, has been kind of our regular haunt for the last for about a year. Yeah, it was right before we went into COVID. I guess more than a year now. It was right before we went into COVID lockdown that we started playing. So, and honestly, we've been playing there just because the owner's a really cool guy. He's willing to give us the space, and he'll order and stock some stuff for us. Because really, the problem we ran into is we were playing at Good Games in Spring Hill, the center of the city, but like they're getting them to stock things was really challenging because they didn't want to, and I get it, right? I completely understand they didn't want to have stuff just sitting there on the shelf that wouldn't get bought, right? But the bigger problem we ran into was like we kept trying to schedule days to play there, and we'd get bumped by Pokemon or other stuff, right? That they wanted to use
Magic.
the space for. So we just, yeah, exactly. So we just couldn't get a regular time with them, and then also couldn't get them to stock any stuff or help us kind of grow the community. So
The Dice Spot is the place to be, from the sounds of it.
Yeah. So, and then the owner Al's been a really good guy. He's just an awesome guy, easy to work with, and he's tried to help us out where he can in terms of growing the events
Excellent.
and allowing us to post up on his Facebook page and things like that. So, but still we have the same four to five local Queensland players.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
How do we get new people into games? It's probably a question for maybe another time, because that's a pretty big discussion.
What about what's happening on your region, Ben?
So in South
Ben's
Australia,
the man. Ben has taught more people to play heroclix than
You
all of us
definitely
times
have
10.
like, let's say 100 players, right? Because you play with the
Ah,
kids.
I wish we had 100 players. So we've been So yeah, it's, I guess, a unique situation where I've being a teacher, I've been teaching kids to play at school as part of a lunchtime activity, and then also providing time like a Friday night after school for them to stay back, have a bit more play, learn how to play the game, and sometimes put on some events for them. So yeah, probably the amount of kids I've had go through is probably about 100, maybe 120 or something like that. So, but was having somewhere to lead on to from there, because then they went to high school when they're like, okay, I won't go back to primary school to play that game. So we've got a game shop in our town of Gawler, and it's Tabletop Warfare. So shout out to them, and they've been really great. And we were saying, we're at the start of last year, we just were starting to get things going. In America, we were looking at that as something to play, and then everything slowed down, and we weren't able to do that. But we were able to start up at the end of the year, and we've had people come in interested to play. I've tried to learn to play sessions, and certainly given lots of heroclix away and given opportunities for people to come and play. So we regularly sit 8 to 10 regular players, but we probably meet twice a month to play. So it gives opportunity for people to get there. The shop managers have been fantastic, and they're happy to put product on the shelf. My children from school don't always come to an event. They do take their parents to the shop to buy heroclix, and so
that is awesome.
Yeah, so the shop is happy to have heroclix on the shelf to start to keep selling things. So that comes back to, the game can only be sold if people can see it being played, and then they can go and buy the products. And so it's been good to say, to sometimes jump behind the counter and say, this is a starter set here. You could purchase that. It's got maps in it and rules, and off you go, or hit these packs here. And so that's been really good. So we continue to build, and I'm hoping to continue to build that to a bigger community as it is. But yeah, so, but good fun. It's
I think we also have some players in Victoria.
Yeah, so I know Chris and his crew. I'm trying to remember the name of the shop where they play, but I know
they have around, let's say, 4 to 6 players there as well, right? Like something like this.
I think so.
And I'm just like, I know there are some stuff happening in Perth, right? But who has contact
Uh,
with those guys? Like, because I know that some of them buy stuff from us, but I don't know who are them, to be honest. I don't know if they meet, if they
so,
play.
in talking with Brendan back in the day, he kind of said that Perth was like at some point they had like 30 players.
Wow.
But yeah, but it also sounds like he was so talking with Brendan. So the last nationals we had was 2019.
2019 was.
Yeah, and he and in fact, so the one before that one, he was looking for the guys from Perth because they had turned up to nationals pretty much up until 2018, but from 2018 on, so 2018 they haven't. So, and he, reached out to him and apparently completely evaporated out there for
Yeah.
whatever.
Hmm.
No,
So,
I'm on a few nationals and it was so the people from Perth, a few people from Perth came across, but it's just became a very expensive trip when talking to them.
Oh, okay.
By the plane fare and the cost, and so
Okay.
well, I mean, to be fair, when you're talking like by the time you add up plane fare and a hotel, you're probably talking at least $1,000, right? So,
and the plane fare could be a little bit more expensive from flying from the west, so it might be looking at two. So it's
oof.
it's and that's I think that was also part of the reason that hasn't been representative. So that's one thing probably should try to find out and see what's going on. But I guess it's really good to hear that we have places in Australia where we're playing, and we've just got to try to work out how to build that community a bit. I will give some news that I got from my shop tonight, which is that they have their stock of Wonder Woman in, and that I can go pick one up tomorrow.
Oh,
Nice,
wow. Okay,
nice.
so your
You
source is
know,
better than mine because my guy said the only end of the month. So, okay. Good on
I
you.
don't know. I'm torn. I'm torn because, like, looking at Wonder Woman, I feel like the CUR, like the common, uncommon, rare part of the set, is just garbage. Like, there's not, like, aside from the sidekicks just to play for some goofy effects, like the blades or whatever. There's like maybe 2 or 3 pieces and the common, uncommon rares that I would play. But the super rares, like, there's several super rares that are really good value. And then, like, the chases are amazing.
Yeah.
So
So
it's almost like they're trying to incentivize you to have to buy like 8 cases of this set and
well,
have like 74 million CUR figures that you're just never going to play.
one of the things I've liked from the look of it, from what I've seen so far, is a lot of at least the commons, which you'll probably get lots of, are generic in type. So, and I don't mind
That is
that.
true.
That's going to give me a chance to, and because not everything I've like, so I think tomorrow night I've got a 400-point game. So that's a perfect game. I'm going, do I play Newt Clones tomorrow night? Do I play? And I like playing those those teams like that, lots of generics. So I'm going, okay, if I get a case and a brick, I'm going to have enough that I can do those sort of teams. But hopefully, pull some nice super rares and chasers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the 19 Defend Green Lantern ESD super. He's the real deal. Good.
So no, it'll be interesting to see. So that's So I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
I think I'll probably go for one case and then singles after that. That's what I'm basically doing from the last sets. I kind of like regret doing this for the future foundation because like I ended up spending more money on the dooms than if I had bought the full set. I think like Terry bought the full set for like it was like 900 US. But then I spent it 900 US just like in Dooms, right? So I should have bought like the full set from the beginning. I just hope I will not fall into the same mistake with the Wonder Woman.
I'm thinking I'd probably and I've spent plenty of money and I still haven't got all those dooms, but It comes down to what you're. I just having a shop close by, and it's I drive past it on the way home from work, which is just really bad.
Yeah.
Because then I can just pull over and go, okay, I'll just go get 3 packets. I'll just go get 3 boosters, and then I go, no, that's okay. Didn't really need to get those 3 boosters, but that's okay.
But in the end, you spend more money than if you just bought the full set, right? And then
exactly.
It's completely.
But I enjoy opening a booster.
Yeah, I know.
And I enjoy having them. And then if I've got,
so
you
have gambling problems, Dwayne.
Yeah, it's certainly my addiction. So
magic is cardboard crack. Heroclix occasionally just feels like plastic crack.
It certainly does. So it's I'm looking. Okay, so I'm looking to get my fix tomorrow night. Then once I get my case. So, but yeah, it's part. I always go. I could buy a full set, but that's sending to the States, and I really want to support my local shop as well. So if they don't sell heroclix, then they're probably going, why would we put heroclix events on? So I'm happy to buy my case at my local shop, and then from there work out what I want to do. And certainly with this set, getting a case and keeping the bottoms of them and trying to get one of the mail aways, the convention exclusives as well, is going to be an interesting turn of events to see how that happens.
Do you guys sell your clicks, or do you keep it?
No,
I'll rotate. So, and especially honestly, so through an amazing twist of fate, I managed to win nationals in 2018. Really, the amazing twist of fate was I was playing Tazi, who was a local player in the Sydney scene. Great guy, awesome guy. He was playing a Unimind build. I managed to run up Pop Unimind, which he then threw basically on his sideline. The Eternals he had for Unimind, one of them was the 350 point Thanos, right? So, which was just, and it wasn't. Yeah, it was. You had to play him at the top point value, right? So it's the 350 point Thanos, the one that's. I want to say it was the one that was on the throne. So, and it would have been back and forth, right? So he was about to just crush what remained of my team. So Thanos says, okay, pulse wave, and he crit misses.
Oh.
Thanos dies. I'm up 350 points. I look at the clock, which was a very publicly posted clock, and I'm like, Tazi, I love you, man. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to run away for the next 3.5 minutes. And he's like, yeah, no, that's completely legit. So that was playing for third, fourth. And then Ben, you and I played for first, second.
We did end up playing for the 2018 Nationals Championship with our shredder. We both had variation on shredder teams, if I remember correctly. I
was playing the Hulk, Exospecs Hulk with Retail. So just because I couldn't get a hold of it. Like shredders were awesome, but I never could find a place to buy them.
I always thought I remember you having a shredder.
Isn't it a shredder, Bob? Because like Terry told me the same, that you won the nationals with mini shredder or something like this.
So I have
on that team.
I know that you had Dormammu and you had some Ninja Turtles. And I'm sure you had a shredder clone because you picked Moira Taggart, and I was like, and then later on I should have just pushed it to death, and then you would have had those.
From what I know from Bobby, he probably exploited that mini shredder sidestep and stuff. Right?
So no, that was me. I played mini shredder.
That was completely Ben.
That was Ben.
That was completely the ping damage.
Yeah.
Like I was playing. I didn't play Mangog. I played Dormammu and another Retaliator. Because I know I had a double Retaliator.
Yeah, Mangog you got from me from the last nets, I think.
Yeah. So I know. Okay, so it was 2018, but it was one of my favorite teams, and my main strike force for me was I had Mini Shredder, Sam Cap, and Pip the troll, and Pip would just phase everyone phase those two across, and then Sam Cap would drop an ID card and take out the retail, and Mini Shredder would step on in and start doing his thing.
Nice.
That was the general plan.
It was a good build, Ben. It was a very very good.
And just a little bit of backup with a Soda and a Carnage in the back, I think, as well. So, it was certainly a build I really enjoyed. But I just got outplayed. That was a heavy, long finals day. I reckon that was game number 7 that you and I played, or game number 8 or something like that.
It was like at 8 at night. I remember that much.
Yeah, and so it was a long day, and just it was close, and it was great to play.
I know I was running a Turtle, Unseen, Hulk with the specs, and 2 Retaliators, and I think I had something else on.
But it's Exo Specs, isn't it 2019?
Yeah, I know. I reckon. Now you're looking at last year's team, probably, or last the 2019. I'm sure he had the door bomber move.
He won Nets, and he didn't even know what he was playing.
I know, right? You'd think I would have kept a record of this somewhere.
I'm sure
that don't really
it should. The team should be in a case somewhere on the wall.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But it was. I remember it was a great game. It was a hard fought game, it was just a really. It was my team. My team was one of those teams. It was I remember playing against in the top 8, and I was first up against Terry, and he won map because he was X-Men team. Yeah, because he loves his X-Men team, and he moved up a little bit, and then I just moved right across the map, and I was right in his face, and he was like, okay, woo. So and that was really cool, and that was a really good fun match. It was to put the surprise on. So it's always good fun. Cool, excellent. So let's have a talk about Dark Phoenix. We talked about it earlier on. I know that she always ends up on one of my builds, and my question is: are you guys building with her, or is she like, okay, I'm going to put her on because I've got the spare points, or is it because the strategy is working with her? What's you thinking when you build?
I feel like you have to find. It's like your team has to have either a precision strike or a pin psi, specifically because Dark Phoenix isn't. Like you can maybe fake it a little bit with an exploit weakness, but you have to have something that can one-shot a Phoenix, if not 2 summons, and heaven help you if your opponent's 3 of them. So just because she is strong enough that she will be on a lot of builds, and like if you can't, like I said, I feel like her great value is that if you do not her retaliation really can completely change the course of the game. Like I've been in games where I've been losing and I've lost figs, but my opponent didn't take out Dark Phoenix. The Dark Phoenix retal was able to wipe out enough of their figure to completely reverse the flow of the game. So I feel like she's got to be considered.
So when you build, you're building so you got someone to take her out, but also
or you either build with her, and honestly, the best builds probably have her and someone to take her out.
Raph, what about you? I know you've been a big fan of Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, I was consistently playing her, like 2 of them. So it was like 2 Dark Phoenix. I think it was like Tyler's piece build. 2 Dark Phoenix, Valeria, Marvel, Doom, and Bishop. I like her. I just don't like the fact that I'm basically just playing against Terry, and he has a really good way to kind of go around Dark Phoenix. And like the beginning of the game, I just see my 2 Dark Phoenix dying every time. And it's so frustrating because like they are not able to do anything. They just die because like and I'm feeling like, as Bobby said, like more and more people are adding precision strike, let's say, to their teams to counter Dark Phoenixes. So I'm not sure. Like I still love her, but I'm just feeling a little bit frustrated playing them because people kind of like know how to go around. So let's say one Magneto, like the robot Magneto double target, one TK running shot double target, two Dark Phoenix gone on turn two, something like this, and you're not. You still have you're just losing like 60 points, right? But that emotional feeling that you just lost two Dark Phoenixes,
It's the emotion.
it's devastating, like you have to recover from that. I said, oh, my two Dark Phoenixes just gone, like they're just gone. Like they did nothing, like they just gone. So didn't even have the chance to retaliate. So and people are really going for Dark Phoenix and killing her like on turn two. Right?
Oh, absolutely. So, if you can, you kill Dark Phoenix. Yeah, it's as simple as that.
That's it. So she is so big that she's the focus of everything, right? Yeah. So I just changed my build a little bit just to play without Dark Phoenix and see how it goes. I still love playing her, but just that she became a target of everyone.
So when you see one on the opposition's team, that's a target for you straight up, isn't it?
Yeah,
though?
of course. So I was playing Barbie yesterday. I saw Dark Phoenix, right? I wanted to take her out. My precision strike was not like up front, so I couldn't get to her. What happened is like I had the chance to hit her or someone else, but what if she got the is it like what was the defense
impervious? She hit her
right?
Or impervious.
What she rolls impervious, right? So I didn't want to take the risk, but what happened? He was able to colossal retaliate me. I was pretty lucky that I rolled two senses and senses out. But I would be dead. Probably.
Well, I think then I shot with her, and I think you got the shape change roll when I shot with her, or the super senses roll when I shot with her too. It was so bad. You were hitting so many of those stupid rollouts.
Yeah. So but like she is so cost effective, where you can kind of like you have so much like free stuff on her, and the game is all about like having a lot of free stuff today, right? That she can remove a token on a 3-6. She can sidestep. She can retaliate. She can shoot after retaliation. So she's so good that if possible, I always wanted to have one or two in my team. But I'm just trying to change a little bit so people don't get like very I know what to do, So I will just wait for Terry to forget how to kill her.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, so we have this thing of if I see a Dark Phoenix on the other team, I must run over there and kill it as quickly as possible. Yeah, and if I have a Dark Phoenix, and if I have a Dark Phoenix on my team, I've got to expect that they're going to come and do that. But then they're stretching themselves, so that's why I always think if they've got to come over and try to kill my Dark Phoenix, they're stretching themselves and leaving them open for the other 270 points of my team. So that's I'll see how it goes from there. But it's a really interesting conundrum, I guess. Which one do you go with? So I applaud you for trying without Dark Phoenix, because I know she always seems to make it onto my teams. I've still got 30 points left. Dark Phoenix will go on there for sure.
It's an easy fit, man. It really is.
So we talked about we talked about our league that we've had online, and it was an unmeta league to go without meta pieces, but we've done when we go. This is season 5, and we've had the first one was everything that was at the American Nationals was banned, so we had a curated list, and that was really good to see some different pieces.
It really was, and I felt like there was a lot more viable. Like I feel like the difference between like your to use like your tier 1 pieces and your tier 2 pieces is so big that there's a lot of really fun pieces in tier 2 that never see the table basically because of the stuff that's in tier 1. So like I kind of feel like tier 1's usually a limited pool, whereas you get rid of some of it, tier 2 is like suddenly you get a lot more variety in there. And I was really impressed because you won that one, Ben, with your WWE build. And like a lot of those pieces were in the WWE build were amazing. Like were just really cool and well designed, and I had never seen them before because they just like in meta they kind of get wiped, right? So
yeah, they've yeah, there was, and I guess that gave us that opportunity because to play. So I chose WWE because I just wanted to play something different, and but I knew that there was not going to be a Dark Phoenix there to come and retail on me and stuff like that. So it certainly made things more comfortable in that first one to try some different things. And I guess that's why I tried that one, and it's happened to work out quite nicely. Except against I played Chris's Venom team and everything, and they just slaughtered me, just ate up WWE players. So, but I certainly, as I was playing it, I learned a lot about the team, and so I learned how each time I played them, they got better for me because I learned how to play them better. Which is, I guess, that's the practice, isn't it?
Yeah,
we've also done the Spider-Man Carnage sealed. We did.
It was amazing the amount of shape change in that set.
Yes,
it is as simple as that. Like I swear, I felt like every turn, every time you tried to make an attack, it was like 4 times as long as it should be because there were like 3 shape change rules that had to happen. So,
and then we did. Was it the sets one where everyone got a different set and built from their set?
When I felt like that one was interesting, I kind of felt like it was also an interesting exercise just in heroclix in general, because we went back really fairly far. I mean, we went back like to we didn't go back. We cut off before War of Light. So, but I mean, we're talking. We went back to 2014 set wise, and like so. I know, for example, I got the Flash set, and it just does not stack up well against more modern sets.
It's a bit unbalanced, right? I mean, there's some
exactly.
sets that are pretty way more stronger than others on that.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is it was kind of interesting to look through it because, like, you know, and if you've played enough meta heroclix, you can kind of look through a set and pick out what's going to be a strong contender or be something that people build around in sets, right? And it kind of felt like doing it that way, seeing the different sets and seeing what people built with. It was interesting because you could tell, like, some sets just don't have much. Like, some sets are obviously designed almost in a vacuum, right? They're almost designed without any consideration of other sets or how they play. Because, like, they're kind of cool when you play them against themselves, but when you play them against other sets, they just get steamrolled. So,
for that one, I did like the stipulation that it had to be a named theme team. Not that named theme teams mean anything anymore.
And, that's a thing.
And that we were able to use one piece. I think it was 75 points or less from modern. And so it gave it. You're able to sort of. So then you had to build a theme team, and then, but you still had the chance to use something from modern. So yeah, I really enjoyed the construction of that one. And then I think the last one was
fun too.
And
so
then we
credit to Chris Rizzi. He's the one that came up with that format and kind of that idea of adding the modern piece as well.
Yeah, that was I enjoyed that one. And then our last one we've just had was our House of X sealed, which we've just got through too. So that's been good fun as well.
And I have to say, like, playing the House of X sealed and even playing the Spider-Man versus Spider-Man and Venom Absolute Carnage sets, like, I feel like in-set balance is really good these days. Because it used to be that, you know, if you pulled a chase or if you pull, you know, it's like Magic, right? If you pull a bomb, you play the bomb and you win. And heroclix in some sets, I feel like, felt like that. But I felt like, I mean, I pulled Omega and I played Omega.
Yeah,
and
both of us played it.
Ben wiped the floor with me,
Yeah,
and Wesson managed to fight me to a very convincing draw.
we had to choose.
that could have gone either way, right? So, like, and that's the thing is, I feel like, you know, it used to be that you could play tent pole in any sealed pool and have a pretty good shot of winning, but it feels like anymore you can't do that, and I think that's actually an indication that game balance is getting better. So
Yeah, that's right. Because we both played Omega, and
yeah,
neither of
yeah, yeah.
us won the event. So Ben won event
Exactly.
with
It's
something
because
else,
this
right? So
stupid Corsair, man. I swear that guy.
Yeah, that's just again, that was just action economy. I just had 4 actions every turn to shoot your
Yeah.
beggar and just keep shooting her and just keep shooting her. Even
So effective. It was so effective, Ben.
it's and so I think Wesn went to the same that map too, and I was like, oh, no, don't get up there. And we ended up on top of that platform that I can't remember what the map's called. It's one from the Fantastic Four Cosmic Clash starter, but on that platform, and it's I found that a pretty balanced set. It was really interesting playing against a team the same. So I had 6 people in my team, and then playing against Terry, who had the same size. So I think we finished like 35-0 or something like that. He won that one because it was just sort of like not much damage happening, and we're just moving around lots of pieces. So
well, I was kind of surprised with how few clear blowouts there were, and I mean, who knows, right? And maybe it's the player pool. There was only 8 of us in the event, but honestly, it felt like most of the matches went to full time, and most of them were not. You know, it was maybe like 150 to something, or fewer than that. Like most of the matches were kind of 100 or so points to 50 or 60 or so points. So
our league's been great. We've chosen to go for a 300-point modern just to spice it up and try something different.
Yeah, starting from the new rules that I'm refreshing the Facebook page the whole day to see if they pop up. Still nothing. Hey, WizKids. If you start listening to us, it's 10 p.m. in Australia already. And they promised it for today, right?
On the 5th, that's right.
But today in the
maybe not
States, and
today.
so they're just sort of gonna get started soon. So but that's and that will give us something to talk about next time. The nice little things about the rules updates that they've come up with once we finally get the comprehensive rules. So this has been excellent. I've really enjoyed chatting tonight, boys.
It's been good. It's always good. Chatting about Clix is always fun. I think I've rebuilt my 2018 Nationals team. Red leader. Did I play? Do you remember a red leader on the team, Ben? I think I remember red leader there. I don't know.
Feels that way.
The double perplex on Hulk, and then smoke cloud to get the double.
I just don't remember Hulk. I'm gonna have to go back and have a look.
Dude, it's been. I know this is like 3 years ago. Who can remember this stuff?
Which Hulk is this?
It's Fast Forces Hulk. It's the Free Quake Hulk.
Oh, okay.
So
could have been
Korath.
The 12 attack, 4 damage Hulk. So and I used Michelangelo that does free smoke cloud.
Okay.
Because people in his smoke cloud had sidestep.
Oh, I see.
So and back in the day, they went back and forth on that Fast Forces Hulk a couple. Yes,
you did have that. Yep, and you did have a. Sure, you had a shredder on your team.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure because I did,
but it's fine. It's the TMNT 3 Michelangelo. No, he was a TMNT 4 Michelangelo, but I swear I could never get any of the shredders. I eventually maybe got one of them. So, but it's all good.
Yeah. So I just thought I remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But it was a good game. So. It's been a pleasure to talk again, gentlemen, tonight about heroclix, and for our first podcast. Really interesting to see where we go from here. Certainly, I guess for our Clix on the Barbie podcast, we're probably looking at trying to put one out every couple of weeks and just enjoy sharing about heroclix in Australia.